would like to thank the following.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us, as we always say. I'm actually standing outside the home of the Kingsley Football Club. I don't need to remind you, of course, of all the tragedy that's happened to them, as well as to really Australia. And unfortunately, these fellas here lost so many of their brothers, their fellow members of their team. And they're soon going to be calling for people. They already have indicated that they'd like, if you're interested in helping them out, they'd like to actually do up the facilities a little bit in memory of their mates who so needlessly died or were killed. Let's be honest about it, in Bali. So we'd like you obviously to get in touch with maybe the council or the football club itself, and if you're interested in helping or even donating. I think they're calling for people maybe who might be a builder or plumber or electrician. I do know there's a lot of places that are already taking donations. I've heard that over at Galvin's Plumbing they're actually collecting donations for them, and I've heard a few other places are trying to help out. They're West Australians, and our hearts and our sincere condolences go out to all those who have suffered in the smallest way. Keep in mind, with Christmas coming up, we'd like to remind you to be careful. What happened in Bali can happen right on our own doorstep. Heaven forbid, but it's likely to happen. It can be at a nightclub, it can be at your shopping center, it can be anywhere. Try and keep, unfortunately, sadly, as one Bali victim said, the world's changed, and it's sad. And whether people say it's getting involved in other people's wars or whatever it may be, the end result to that is it's happened, and it's happened to us directly. So it's a bit of an appeal. They don't even know I'm here doing this, but it's something we on Bulls and All, and I'm sure every Australian, especially every West Australian, feels very strongly about. So find out if you can help, even in a small way. You might even want to find out they're doing something and come down and help out for the day, whatever. So to all the victims, our sincerest condolences go out. A fella here named Andrew, who's just rolled up while we were here, is with the SES. They're actually doing a big thing which will happen tomorrow night, which will happen after this is... You going?
How you doing? Good.
Now you're with the SES. Tell us what involvement you guys are doing getting behind all this.
Okay, well basically there's a memorial service here tomorrow night for the lost ones from the club, and I guess everyone in WA. What we're doing is organising all the traffic, trying to direct people in the right direction. It's going to be a pretty big crowd, so there'll be quite a bit of work to do. We'll probably have around about 40 volunteers here tomorrow.
Because with the SES, you guys who do such a great job, as do our ambulance and fire brigade and police force, but you guys are there. Tragedies, of course, tragedies, we see weather tragedies and all that kind of stuff, but this is a little bit of a different type of tragedy, and so many of your male and female volunteers coming down the hill.
Yeah, we've got a pretty mixed bunch in our unit. We from the Wanneroo Joondalup unit, probably one of the larger units in Perth. But I guess ultimately we train for something we hope will never happen. If all we had to do was storm damage, we'd be quite happy with that. But yeah, this is a very, very sad occasion, and it's unfortunately very, very close to home, as you said.
Now this, what we're talking about, actually, by the time this show's gone to air, has already happened. How many people are you roughly expecting maybe will turn up here tomorrow night?
It's hard to say. I've heard estimates of up to about 10,000, but as I say, it's had significant media coverage. So yeah, it could be that plus, really. Initially it was going to be something smaller, but I think people feel pretty deeply about what's happened, and it's got a lot bigger than that now.
I think if you're an Australian, and this goes for all Australians, no matter what their religious or whatever or race or background may be, obviously it's one of those things that we all feel strongly about. Now, with the SES, just while you're here, a state emergency service, your local branch, if someone wanted to find out a bit more about it, would you know the number they could call?
Yeah, it's 9300 1666. That's for the Wanneroo S. Yeah, as far as joining the unit, we have inductions about once a year, thereabouts, depending on what our needs are. But we are a voluntary organisation, so any assistance that we can get too is greatly appreciated as well, I guess.
Yeah, like we say, if you like about 3 o'clock in the morning, like hanging upside down, maybe to help someone out, or putting up tarps, or sometimes you guys actually get involved in the more tragedy side too of wrecks and getting people out of car accidents and stuff like that as well.
Not so much in the metro area. We don't get into a lot of vehicle rescues, although we do a lot of car versus house cleanups afterwards. Unfortunately, we do get involved in a lot of lost people searches. Particularly with our unit, we cover a very, very big area. So yeah, it's unfortunate we have to do that sometime.
Well, if you'd like to get involved and learn more about it and help out, give them a call if you're in this area. But the SES is spread all over the state, and they're actually under SES in the phone book?
Yeah, well, we come under FISA now, but yeah, ring your local, whatever area you're in. Ring FISA and they'll put you through to your local SES unit.
Okay, no worries. Thanks a lot for that, Andrew. Thanks for being on. Good luck to all you gang for all that. Too. All right, well, let's get the balls and all rolling. Didn't mean to be somber too much, but look, this is very serious, and I'd hate for people to take it, not to take it serious. It's a sad, tragic event, and it's something that I hope that would actually be the very last of it. I hate to say it, but I think it's more the opposite. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, if you'd like to help out with the Kingsley, give them a call, or the council. They're actually in the city of Joondalup, 9400-4268. As the number says on the wall. Now, Action Man went down a while back, just actually up the road here, and watched some guys having some fun with some remote control planes. Let's have a look at that story.
Howdy everyone, I'm talking to Chris Murphy, and he's part of the Wanneroo Aeromodellers Club. Now, where are we?
Well, we're just north of Wanneroo, where we have our airfield just off Pinjar Road. A full complex flying field here for Wanneroo townsite people and the local people, yeah.
Now, when people come down here, what could they expect?
Well, we fly all sorts of models here, from powered aircraft, gliders, as we have seen today on this special event day. We learn to fly here, and it's just a great hobby.
Now, how many members would you expect to have here?
At this point of time, we are running about 45 members in the club. We expect that to increase through the year, generally to about 50 to 60 members. From all ages, we have a pilot flying at 15 years of age, who passed his test maybe 2 weeks ago, up to 72 years of age. We have many people 60 to 70 years of age.
Now, what could you tell us about some of the more prominent people here today?
Well, we have today somebody very prominent in the model aircraft field, Steve Coram, who's won many, many championships through the years. He's a 5 times national champion, winner 1988 in the Asian Championships, and came 3rd in the 2002 Asian Championships. He flies and has been asked to fly a record 7 times in the Australian World Aerobatic Team. That's an amazing feat, and he was invited to go to Las Vegas not long ago for an invitation championship. A very, very experienced flyer, Steve Coram.
Well, let's have a chat to Steve and see how it goes. Now, Steve, it's your plane behind us. What could you tell us about this particular plane?
Well, it's a Fibre Classics aircraft built in Germany. The design, as you can see on the paint scheme there, is designed by my wife. She emailed it over, and he just sort of copied it. It's actually built in the mould. It's powered by a two-cylinder 150cc two-stroke just petrol engine. Aircraft weighs about 16 kilos, and this aircraft was actually built specifically for the TOC invitation in Las Vegas, and about 20 pilots are invited, 10 American and 10 international pilots go there.
Now, it being one of the bigger planes here, is it easier or harder to fly than some of the smaller ones?
Well, it depends, you know. Aircraft vary a lot. This one I wouldn't say is easy, but you know, if you're fairly experienced, it's not too bad. But you've got to work hard on the controls. If you're not up to it, if you're not on it all the time, it'll just get away from you.
Now, what first got you involved?
Well, that's a long story basically, but I went to a model air show, maybe such as this one. When I was about 15, saw the aircraft, said, yep, that's what I want to do. And 19, I was able to afford my own aircraft, and then here I am about 23 years later or so.
Now, what would you say to anyone who saw this interview today and thought, I'd like to do this? What would you like to say to them?
Well, the thing is, you definitely go to a club, pick out someone that doesn't damage aircraft. In other words, get yourself a really good instructor. He'll look after that aircraft for you, and that'll give you on a good start, and he'll tell you what to get. In fact, best thing to go to the club before you even purchase a new model, see what's around, see what's looking good, and that flies the best on what the instructor recommends, and go from there.
Now, if someone wanted to get involved, is there a price as in limit that you could sort of set yourself?
Well, I would really say you really need a budget around $750 to $1,000 if you want to buy everything brand new. You can do it cheaper, but this game is really hard, and you don't need handicaps. You've got to have everything working for you, and if you budget with that, you can get a nice setup that'll do the job.
Well, thank you for talking to us, and let's see who we end up talking to.
Well, that's great. We got another part to that story coming up later on when they're actually flying helicopters and everything. It's quite something, and the work and the money and the time that's obviously put into these, they really are a effort filled with lots of love. Well, as I said earlier, we're actually here at the ground where the Kingsley football boys used to play, right out there, and have their games and have a few drinks here with their mates and whatever it may be, and just generally enjoy the sport and the life that they led. Unfortunately, so many of them have lost that, and so many of them are still injured. We spoke briefly to some of the fellas. There's a lot of guys and girls coming down here just sitting and just dazing off into space, remembering things that happened here on the ground and their fallen mates. We spoke to one fella whose brother was involved in the tragic accident in Bali here at Kingsley. So needless to say, we're really pushing you as much as possible to try to get involved. We know telethon and all that kind of stuff's happened recently, and you've been involved in that, but this is for these fellas, in memory of them. So if you're a builder, plumber, as I say, electrician, anyone who can get involved, give them a call and help them out. All right, well, we're going to be going to a break, and we'll be back with more from somewhere else right after this.
Welcome back. I'm actually in Mullaloo, standing in front of the Surf Lifesaving Club in Mullaloo, and I'm having a chat with Luke,
Alan, Audrey, Amanda, Karen,
Van,
Vicky, Joe.
Now, are any of you guys part of the Surf Lifesaving Club?
Yeah.
So what do you do here then?
We come down here on Sundays and we patrol the beaches, like go out in the boats and just do some practicing.
So how'd you find that?
Yeah, pretty fun. You learn some good skills. You get like SRC, like surf rescue certificates, bronze medallions. Pretty good.
Anything you'd like to say to someone who's thinking of doing that?
Yeah, you should come down. It's lots of fun. You learn vital skills that you can use in life.
Well, thanks for that. Now, the story we're going to now is one I did, which was down at the Whiteman Park. There we go, Whiteman Park. And it's to do with pistol shooting, so check that out. And check out the magazine that it had in the pistol. It was good, huge. So let's check that out. Howdy everyone, I'm the Action Man, and I'm talking with Dave Lucas. How are you today?
I'm very good, thanks, Action Man.
Now, what can you tell us about the event that's going on today?
We're at the Pine Valley Pistol Club located on the Whiteman Park International Shooting Complex in Whiteman. It's our open day for the whole West Australian Shooting Association, and we're inviting members of the public to come here today to have a go at handgun shooting and to try and educate people as to why shooting is such a good sport.
Now, for the public who do come down, what could they expect?
They can expect a warm welcome and to have the opportunity of shooting different types of semi-automatic handguns and revolvers from 22 to 9mm and 38 special calibers.
And how are you finding the people who are taking to this?
Everyone seems very impressed. They come down. We have safety lessons for those people who are unaware of handguns. We then provide them with protection of their eyes and their ears. We give them a brief instruction, and everyone goes away pretty happy.
Now, what sort of, as in targets are aimed for, what sort of activities are going on today?
Well, this is just a very basic shoot today because we work on the fact that most people coming here haven't shot much before, so they're really a novice. So we cater for that. It's a very basic shoot where they shoot from a static position and they have an instructor right along beside them in case they get a bit nervous, but that's only to be expected from new shooters. And hopefully the club will pick up some new members out of this promotional day today, and the other parks are open, the other clubs, so you can try your hand at shotgun and archery as well.
Now, for someone who did come down, did quite like what they see, what could they get from membership, as in what sort of training could they get?
Okay, to join a practical pistol shooting club, which we are, you must go through a pretty intensive training course which goes for about 9 weeks. That's because we don't shoot from a static position. We actually move through a course of fire, running, reloading as you go, shooting at different types. So the main emphasis is on safety, but obviously we want people to have a lot of fun as well. And it's a real education, the fact that you can be competent with a handgun, and it teaches responsibility, especially to young people and to females. We actively cater for those people to join our club, and to seniors who want to come along and get out and try something different and to promote their self-confidence.
Now, if someone does get to quite a high skill level, what sort of competitions are out there for people to enter into?
We have state and national competitions, and only a month ago myself and my son attended a world shooting competition in South Africa. He placed 10th junior in the world. He could have done a little bit better, but that wouldn't be the case. But we have shooting every weekend on Saturday and Sunday at a local club level. Then we have inter-club shoots where we go to other clubs, and then we go to other states as well, and we have a national titles every year.
Now, in regards to pistols themselves, what do you find is the more widely used in pistol clubs?
That's just about saying which is the most favourite car. People have their own preferences, and we don't put any type of handgun down. We say come along and enjoy shooting and get some real fun out of it.
Well, if someone did like what they see today, is there a number they could call?
Yes, they can call myself on 9378-2180. I'm the president of the club, and we're actively seeking all types of members, from juniors, ladies, seniors, across the board. We don't mind, and we want to encourage people to come down and learn about an exciting sport.
Well, if someone did quite like what they see, what's as in the starting money level for someone who actually wanted to get involved?
The minimum starting level for the first year is around $500. That's because we don't want to get people to come down and not make the commitment to the club. But after your first year, the financial fees are $220 a year, which works out to about $4 a week. And there's no other fees to pay after that, other than buying your handgun, of course, and that can range from anywhere from $500 to $5,000 depending on your bank account.
Well, would you say there'd be any general basic rules that people would have to adhere to?
Absolutely. There's 4 basic rules of any firearms handling, and if people can follow these 4 simple rules, there'll never be a firearm tragedy. That is, treat every gun as being loaded. Whether it's loaded or not, you treat it as if it is. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is always point the muzzle in a safe direction. That's very important. Don't ever point the gun at anything you do not wish to shoot. Rule number 3 is what I call the granddaddy of all rules, is keep your finger off the trigger until you want to shoot. If the gun is in good working order and you do not manipulate the trigger, then the gun cannot go off. And rule number 4 is pretty simple. Know what you're shooting at. You don't shoot at a shape or a sound or a shadow or a silhouette. You must identify the target before you actually shoot at it. And if people could follow those 4 basic rules in any situation, whether it be here at the gun club or out recreational shooting on a farm, then everyone will be much better off.
Now, in regards to the police side of things, as in how hard to get a firearm licence, as in to get started a club like this?
Well, the club is a very responsible club, and we work with the West Australian Police Service to make sure that all members are screened adequately, and the police is the final arbitrator to whether you can have a firearm or not. We'll give you a club letter of support as long as you fulfil all the club requirements and be a good club member and come and do your safety training and pass the competency and the theory test at the end of it. Then the club will give you a letter of support to the police department, but they are the final arbitrators as to whether you get a firearms licence or not.
Or is there any last points of advice you want to give to anyone who's thinking of joining?
Come down, please come down and have a try. There's nothing, it costs you nothing, and if you like it, we'd like to have you on board as a club member. We're the largest club in WA as far as practical shooting goes, and please come down and enjoy the fun of shooting.
Well, you heard the man, so see how it pans out, but come down, it's a pretty good shoot, so, and I had plenty of fun, so.
Yeah, thanks to everyone there at Whiteman Park. Don't forget there's pistol clubs, there's rifle clubs all over the area. They teach you the correct way, the safe way, and help you out too if you're trying to learn a little bit about it. Just down the road a little bit, also in Whiteman Park, they also do archery, and they also have the shotguns where they do the clay pigeon shooting and all that kind of stuff. So there's quite a bit there if you'd like to find out a bit more about it. Give them a call. Now, don't forget, or something I don't need to tell you, is we live on the most beautiful coast with the most beautiful beaches here in Perth. Remember, summer's coming up. A lot of the surf lifesaving clubs are looking for members, people to get involved. When you are out swimming, try and look for where there is a surf lifesaver. Swim between the flags. One of the young girls that Action was just speaking with actually said that a friend of theirs got caught in a rip here only earlier today. So it can happen just like that. Be careful out in the water, and of course around your swimming pools. Now, anyone who knows me knows my favorite sport has always been gridiron. That's where my nickname come from, Moose. And the season's all kicking away. I think they're up to about their third game of the season so far. They're playing at Ashfield Reserve, and then soon going to also play down at home of the Fremantle Roosters rugby team down at Kinglsley Field. So it's going to be all over the place. I went down the other night and spoke to some of the guys at the Broncos about their team and about all the other teams. Let's have a look at the story. All right, well, here I'm talking to a guy. When you come down and talk to the gridiron guys, you got to find out, are they wanted or anything like that first, because you never know with these guys. How you going, Eric?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Good, good. Tell us a bit about how things are progressing so far.
Still early days, but the team's looking good, yeah. First game was a good one. Got to feel out what we did have and what we do have.
And that was against the old, one of the bigger rivals of the Broncos history, the Saints.
Good old Saints, yeah. It was a good grudge match, you know. Get it on, you know, shake up, see what you've got. They're a bit of a flashy side in the passing game, but they didn't bring it this time, so they had a little bit more in the running game, so it made the defence work a little bit, and we had a good shutout.
New quarterback. I understand that Jason's not there, but you still got a lot of the mainstays. Chris Bright coaching the Saints, and Big Dino out there playing line.
Yeah, the line is pretty sound. The quarterback, still early days for him, but you know he's got potential. He's got a good arm, and he reads the game well, and he likes to survive. So yeah, looking promising.
Cool. And have you seen any of the other teams so far? How things are looking?
I had a chance to see the Steelers and the Jets play on the weekend. Still early days for them too. See some of the old heads rocking up, and you will get into it, kind of thing. But the young talent obviously still looking to get into the game, and some of the older heads are a bit unfit, you know, just carrying on the old early blues, but they'll get into it. Yeah, second half of the season definitely be a lot more of a contest going on. The first couple of games, obviously everyone's just filling each other out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, most of the games are going to be played here and down in Freo. Actually, we're at Ashfield Oval. I think I mentioned that before. Here and as well as down in Freo. I think our buddies at the Fremantle Rugby League, the Roosters down there. Yeah, Kinglsley Field.
Yeah, from what I believe is that we've got the first 4 Friday nights down here. As far as I'm aware, the first games up to Christmas will be played here at Ashfield. Then after that, it'll be down at Kinglsley and Fremantle. Okay. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Get a bit of a different look, different field, different weather conditions.
Yeah, well, when you go there, everybody goes there, tell them Moose sent you, and I'm sure they'll put on heaps of bourbon and coke for you. Hey, how you going, boys, to the Roosters?
I don't know about the Roosters, mate. I got a bit of a grudge match with them from playing with Kenning. And
So that's rugby though, isn't it?
rugby, yeah, that's rugby, mate. Yeah, but still playing on there.
Actually, how long have you been playing Gridiron? Because you came to us back in the days with Philistani, one of the best running backs ever played in Western Australia.
Yeah, young Phil, he's still around. He's a bit itchy. I saw him the other day. He said, "Oh yeah, I'd like to give it another go." And I said, "Come on down, mate. No, don't be shy." He says, "Oh, but he's overcommitted with work at the moment, as most people are, especially in this league." But he'll probably show his face before the season's out. But him and I, yeah, we started out with the Steelers originally. Then we progressed down to here because we like to be a bit more with a social group.
Say up to here. Come on, let's stick the stick in.
Your Steelers, you suck, mate. No, seriously. No, we'll have a good match when we get to play them. There's a good grudge match there. A few of the boys used to play with the Steelers over the years. So, yeah, there'll be more of our more confrontal games.
Current state champions, the Steelers, and how you said you watched them. How are they looking this year?
Yeah, they're still pretty impressive. They're not giving away a lot in the first couple of games. But I definitely think they'll be probably our hardest game. Yeah, most definitely. Not just because they were state champions last year, but also that they do look the part at the moment as opposed to some of these other teams. And saying that, our team is looking the part. We're just a little bit young in a sense, but definitely the potential there to be a good team.
Still the oldest existing team in Western Australia, and some say actually the oldest existing team in Australia because, been going for a while, about 15, 16 years or something. So what do you think's the strength so far with the Broncos?
Definitely our lines, our offence and defence lines. The rest will come. We've got our basics down pat. We know where we're going as a team. So, yeah, and a lot of young blood there to help the old guys get back into the game. They've always enjoyed the game, but lack a little bit of fire. The young blood come along.
It's called being old and fat. That's what it is. And the Jets, of course, we're still waiting on the return. The rumour about Ben Newton popping his head back out.
He'll always pop his head out, mate. He's one of those old diehards. He won't give it up. He'll be back in there for sure. I tell you, by the second round at least, if nothing else, he'll be down there. He'll want to play.
And then we got, of course, the Giants. We haven't heard much about them, or the mighty Rockingham Vipers.
No, I can't honestly say I haven't heard a damn thing about them. The main concerns that we've seen so far are really from the Jets and the Steelers. Yeah. We saw the Saints on the weekend. They will be a force to be reckoned in the second round, I believe, mainly because they got the first hit out like ourselves. Yeah. Got a chance to actually see what we have to do, where we're going to be come second round.
So that's going to happen mainly Friday night for the Broncos. There's still a couple more of those Friday nights to go. And also Saturday during the day, there's still a couple games here at Ashfield.
Yeah, lunchtime Saturdays. I think it's 12 o'clock's kick-off, or 1 o'clock, close to that. I mean, the game goes for at least 2.5 hours, so you're guaranteed to get some action somewhere along that time.
Okay, so if you'd like to know more about that, give them a call, 9250-7762. That's Steve Donovan. He's too bloody shy and ugly to come on camera, hiding over there amongst the crowd somewhere. Usually there's only really good-looking guys in this team like you or I.
Oh, mate, of course, we're the class. We are with the class. Not the arse, but the class.
Say whatever you want on TV. And, of course, be careful of the booze bus on the way home. All right, we'll see where we end up from here. Don't forget, as I said, the Gridiron season's rocking and rolling now. There's only a couple numbers I know. That's Steve Donovan, 9250-7762, or Art, 9446-2130. I'll be happy to put anyone else's number on the screen. All you got to do is email us, and we'll let people know about the, the Jets or the Saints or any other team. Anyway, one thing too I was a bit amiss doing in the early part of the show is to letting all those friends of Wayne Simmons know that he is okay. He was in Bali when the tragedy happened, but fortunately he was about an hour away from where it all happened. And, we'll be real happy to see when he's back safe here in Western Australia. Okay, we'll be going to a break. We'll be back right after these messages. Yeah, as we said earlier, we're here outside the Mullaloo Surf Life Saving Club. I think my mate Cocky actually goes here. It's either here or Whitford's, one or the other. They have all kinds of things happen throughout the year. They have what's called the IRB, those inflatable boats. They have challenges with those. They teach people all kinds of safety in the water, needless to say. They are surf lifesavers, a great Australian tradition created in Australia, now all over the world. Something I did a while back, we went down to the Devellerex gym where our good buddy Danny Green, the Green Machine, also fights. And we talked about the WA State amateur boxers. Have a look at the story. G'day everyone, it's Moose here, and I'm down at the home of the mighty Danny Green in Devellerex gym over in Bayswater. I think it's actually on Mooney Street. We'll give you all those details. But I'm here talking about a whole different thing. We're still in boxing. I'm having a chat with Steve Young, all you Gridiron guys saying, oh wow, one of the better quarterbacks anyway, but it's actually Steve Young, and he's going to tell us a bit about something else. Steve, tell us what's happening.
Okay, I'm just here to promote amateur boxing, which happens at various venues every second week pretty much. You can contact the association on the numbers we'll show you on the screen. And
you guys are going to be having a big night almost every fortnight, and you got boxers from all over the metro area. They come from all over the place.
Well, boxers range from northern down to Mandurah and everywhere in between. So when you come along, you really do get to see the best of the state, male and female, juniors and seniors.
And tell us a little bit about some of these people behind us, like the guy belting the shit out of the bag behind us.
Yeah, that's Ben Cruz. He's a very successful boxer.
Related to Tom by any chance?
Maybe he wishes, but we'll see. No, he does very well. He's boxed all around the place, different countries, over in the east, and won the National Golden Gloves Championships. And most of the guys behind me will compete in state titles and similar titles. Very good boxers.
And there's a couple guys having a bit of a bash there in the ring. Tell us a bit about those two guys.
Yeah, I can pretty much make out one, which is Lewis Tonsich. He's from Sunset Coast, which is down in Scarborough. He'll be boxing for the state titles coming up in October. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you've got guys, of course, this is at Devellerex gym, but they come from all different gymnasiums all over Perth and other areas. That, like, they're not based here, they're actually based all over the place?
No, there's gyms all over the show. So pretty much whichever area you live in, you can reach a gym, which is close to you. Fortunately in WA we have a lot of top-notch trainers who can take guys to different levels, fitness levels, competitive levels, national levels, and who knows, in state level.
I know when people roll up to have a look at the matches, and you've also got one coming out really soon up at Kingsley, I think you say. What do they expect? Like how many matches? What different brackets of boxing go on?
Okay, well we have lots of different weight and age divisions, but you're probably looking around 10, 11 fights a night.
You fight in the overweight and overage division. If anyone, you don't believe me.
That's on Saturdays, is it? Yeah. Okay.
About 3 in the morning.
Yeah. So yeah, we get all ages, all genders and weights, and yeah, 10, 11, 12 fights a night.
And facilities there, people want to bring their the family, come and have a bit of a look. If you're a bit of a boxing mad, want to have a bit of a look?
Yeah, by all means. The crowd's excellent, very diverse crowd. The parking, always lots of parking. There's food, hot food, cold food, drinks. There's also licensed bars, so fancy your drink, bring a skipper and enjoy yourself, yeah.
What nights do they mainly box? Like, is it, and it's every fortnight, but what nights, mate?
Yeah, it is every fortnight, and they always fall on a Friday.
If you knock off work on a Friday and maybe not much to do, feel like doing something, you can go down and have a look, mainly at Kingsway, often at the Cudale Hotel as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Our next fight is at Kingsway. That's the Olympic Soccer Club, just off Wanneroo Road there. Excellent venue.
And do you know the numbers if someone wants to get those? Do you know those?
I do. You can contact Mr. Paddy Wilton, who's the State Secretary, on 9302 6094, or myself on 9444 6063.
Okay. What's the actual name of the competition too? I see something over here called Sunshine Coast and all that, but what's the actual name of your comp that you guys are running?
Oh, okay. It's run by the WA Amateur Boxing Association, which falls under the Amateur Boxing Incorporated.
The Golden Gloves or anything like that. You got some of the Golden Gloves winners there anyway, going to have a bat.
Oh yes, no, we do host the Golden Gloves state titles and also the National Golden Gloves titles, which is...
Two guys we've seen just now having a bash. What kind of levels do they fall in? Tell us a little bit about those two guys.
Top level. Been boxing for quite some time. They compete nationally and I believe internationally as well. Grassroots in WA, which is good. Like I said, we have top-notch trainers all over the place here, which is excellent. Yeah, so we produce very good boxers over here.
We know some boys from Rockingham down there, g'day, and they may come down and have a bit of a, either be involved or at least come and watch. So anybody wants to do it, we'll get those numbers one more time.
Excellent. Yeah, it's 9302 6094 or 9444 6063.
It's on the screen anyway.
It's my number. Yeah.
It's your number. Yeah. That's the hard one.
Yeah, ring myself. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for that anyway, and good luck to the guys on the night. And if you want to have a look at some good boxing right here in WA, of course we know Danny Green's going to come back and have a bash just before he goes off and kick Mundine's ass. But there'll be some good boxing happening anyway.
Can I also mention that on the Danny Green night there will be some of these guys competing, so they're putting amateurs on as well, which shows how good we are.
Go down and have a look. You'll have a good time. Yeah, well done to those guys involved with the boxing. We're going to try and get there on the night of the big fight that unfortunately went to air before the show goes to air. And something else that's really good to do is when you get down to the beach with your mates, play a bit of cricket, a bit of footy, kick the soccer ball around, have a good family day out. Most beaches have barbecue facilities and all that kind of stuff. It's great. All right, now, you like plants? You want to know a little bit about the difference between palms or cycads? Have a look at this story. G'day everybody, I'm hiding in a place down in, I think it's High Wycombe, and I'm talking to some people that are going to tell you all about palms and cycads. I've got the president here, Gary Pike, and Norm Patterson, and they're going to tell us all about these little magic little plants in front of me. Now, I know about palms, that's people that come from England, but what are cycads? Norman?
What are cycads? Well, the cycads are...
You went straight over that one. Come on. Yeah. Get in with it.
I thought we were talking about palms. Well, cycads are ancient plants that were around during the dinosaur age, okay, and they still find remnants of it in, well, I believe in Victoria, for instance, a cycad used to grow there, and they find remnants of it there too, as well. And the Palm and Cycad Society, or the Palm Society, in most states of Australia has incorporated Palm and Cycad Society as they are palm-like plants. For example, our local Zamia palm that grows out in the bush, often you'll see a Boy Scout wears the seed as a toggle as part of his little scarf. And we often call that a Zamia palm, which in fact it's actually Macrozamia reedlii, and if you look at the book now, there's about 4 or 5 different versions of it now growing from, say, just below Geraldton way down as far as Albion and Esperance. So that's what cycads are.
Would the black boy that be part of that group as well? Because they're
more of a grass tree. But yeah, when you plant palms, I mean palms usually, as you'll take some photos as you go around in this place here today. This is 2.5 acres of.
We're going to take some plants as well, but that's a different story.
Yeah, another story. Yeah, I know you're sense of humour, miss. The palms, when you plant, usually grow up pretty tall, so you use cycads as an understory planting, and there are other plants that we use to help in a palm garden. So, but getting on to this subject, the Palm and Cycad Society of Western Australia was formed about 16 years ago. Okay, a lot of collectors were taken for rides, bought palms that certainly were not going to survive in Western Australia, and it's the group of us that have got together now that can turn around and say to you, listen, that palm will grow because we are growing it. Okay, it's not necessary that you could buy a seedling and grow it from a seedling. Maybe you need to have it brought down from Darwin through the normal quarantine avenue, and you're getting the palm down, say at 3 or 4 feet high, and that's going to establish itself in the garden quite well. The Palm and Cycad Society is going to present a show and a display with the Fern Society.
He's taking all your bits, isn't he? Hey?
I can do this bit, yeah. We're having our annual display and show at Kennington Exhibition Centre, which is the old Kennington Showgrounds, exhibition hall there.
Right near the Greyhounds, is that right?
Right in front of the Greyhound complex on the 23rd and 24th of November.
I think anybody who will remember the stories we did about the koi and the rabbits and all that kind of stuff, the rats, that's the same place, just right next to the Greyhound.
Yes, right on Albany Highway. There's big signs up there, you won't be able to miss it. Open mostly all day Saturday and Sunday of that weekend.
And the date again?
23rd and 24th of November, Saturday and Sunday.
And from the times?
9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, both days.
We were just told free entry there?
Free entry, yes. Won't cost you a cracker to get in. There's a huge display. Almost every palm you'll be able to grow in Western Australia you'll see displayed there, along with some other rare and exotic varieties. Cycads, of course. The Fern Society is also hosting their annual display there as well, so there's lots of people things to see. And we have a display of bromeliads, which is a companion plant of palms and cycads as well. So there's a hall full of plants for people to see. Even if they don't want to buy stuff, we have stuff on sale as well. Not all the varieties on display will be for sale, but people can buy a great deal of plants quite cheaply.
The other thing too is members of the public who can come down, like I said, is that the same as that? And of course I'm going to be pointed out correct soon, but people can come down and you guys will actually point them in the right direction of what to look for as well?
We'll have lots of experts on site, answer all your palm questions, common growth habits, where to grow them, how to grow them, if you can grow them, how to look after them, etc. So lots of free advice. You know, you can come and spend a whole morning or half a day there for very little expense to yourself, have a cup of tea and coffee.
Food and drinks and everything?
Yes, for a very modest couple of bucks for a cup of coffee and some biscuits and cake and so on. So yeah, come down and see us and have a talk to us about palms.
And the phone number, if someone would like to find out about it, obviously you can roll up on the day, but if someone would like to say, oh, it looks like a great group to get involved with, wouldn't mind helping, how do they find out about it?
There's a number of different ways. We have a website. People can log on to us on the web, and I'll give you that address later. I don't remember off the top of my head.
www anyway.
Yes, it starts with www. We have 93135074 is the secretary's number. We also have a post office address, a mailing address, which we'll hand out on the day as well. Yes. So we're easy to find. Someone wants to get in contact with us, it's $15 a single membership, $20 for a family for a whole year. That's very cheap advice, $20 worth of advice for a whole year is good stuff.
What do you guys, like we see you having a meeting now, what do you guys do when you actually get together and how often?
Well, we meet once a month for a general meeting, and we have a little bit of business to attend, but we sell plants, we have talks from guest speakers, some of our own members give talks. We generally talk and discuss palms and related things. We also have social outings, bus trips, annual days such as this, which are just to get together at someone's house to spread the good word on palms and cycads.
What about people out there saying, I'd like to get involved, I really love gardening, I might live in a flat or whatever. If I come down, is it hands-on? Can people actually get involved and help a lot as well?
We have a number of projects that we do get involved in. Some of those are hands-on. We sometimes go and remove palms from people's place. We have a botanic garden in Woodvale up near Wanneroo. We have a 10-acre property there which is full of thousands and thousands of palms and cycads growing in the open up there, which is also part of a natural open park. Yeah, so there'll be something for everybody. We have people here that live in flats and gardens. We can advise them on what you can grow on a terrace or in a small pot or indoors, outdoors, whatever climate suits your garden. We can help you out.
Fantastic. Now, Norm, you're going to explain to me the differences here a little bit, if you will. Like, let's start with the one over there.
All right. Well, a Raphis palm originated from China, and there's known as two varieties. One is a Humilus, which is the slender lady palm. It has more fingers or more leaflets, and the other one is Excelsa, and the Excelsa has less leaflets in it. The two of them in their natural habitat would grow to about 15 metres tall, which is a bit high. But one of these plants is supposedly sent out of variegation, which this plant here has a variegation, and it's not unusual to see a Kent here and several, even an Alexander palm, a foxtail palm, that sent out variegation. But as that leaf dies off eventually, it doesn't normally continue through to the rest of the palm, where this is continued with the rest of the palm. And it was notably kept amongst the nobles of China. Japan got it out maybe 500 years ago, and they have repeatedly about 105 different varieties now, and they've dwarfed it. Most of their palms are grown as bonsai plants because they just don't have the room to grow them any other way.
Now, what about the one there? What does that one there say, starting with that one there?
Well, the first thing it tells me is that we've got very short leaflets on that, and it's a little bit like a Humilus, which is the slender lady palm, where this one is the lady palm. Okay, this is the Excelsa because it's got a trunk.
Got bigger tongues, is that what you're saying?
Well, we've got one particular...
Sorry, girls, just joking, just joking.
Yeah, joke, yeah, right. In some of these palms, we'll find that they have a thick leaf. Some will be thin, some will be short, some will be a lot thicker. Some of them we've got just two leaves, and another one will have a little short leaf in the middle. And then in the variegators, there's various colours. There's some whites in there.
Okay, here that's this one here.
Green in this colour, and in other colours it's less. There really hasn't been much written about this particular palm, and as you already know, we're the Palm and Cycad Society of Western Australia, and if we've got, say, 4,000 palms, we don't have a group for any other palm other than the Rafus palm. It is reputed to be the world's most expensive palm. The record that one book tells us that was paid for a 5-inch plant was something like $30,000. There is 2 plants or 3 plants in WA which were advertised at $10,000 each. Not that we paid $10,000 each for it. Was actually, in my case, it was a gift and from somebody in Japan who thought we had done pretty well with it. All comes through quarantine. There's a quarantine fee and a quarantine period. And they come usually into Perth as a pup, which is just a little piece that comes off it, and about 5 inches tall. So this plant originally came in as a 5-inch plant.
Now what do we got over here? What's this one here?
Okay, they all have their names on it to make it easier. Okay, this is Toyo Nishihiki, and Toyo Nishihiki's little...
It doesn't make it any easier.
Well, its characteristic is that it has a lot of lime green in it. That's its first characteristic.
One of the things we're trying to do with palms is educate the public. Most people think of palms, they think of the giant cotton palms and cocos palms that most people are paying to have chopped down now because they've become a nuisance, and they were the only things available 20 years ago, but you know, we like to show people who love the tropical look and have perhaps got a swimming pool and they don't want berries and fruit and branches dropping into their pools. Well, come and see us and we can tell you what else you can grow, leading up to, you know, this beautiful sort of exotic stuff like this. So,
this is a company.
Yeah, but there are hundreds of different types of palms you can grow in Perth other than cocos and cotton palms. So we'd like to tell people about those. So.
Okay, so let's give it one more plug on the 23rd and the 24th, just outside the Greyhound track.
Yes, 23rd, 24th November at the Kennington Exhibition Centre. Open from 9 till 4, entries free. Bring the kids, bring the family, come along and have a good look.
And the phone number one more time.
9313 5074.
Fantastic. One more thing there.
People live down by the beach and they put in a palm, and the palm new leaf comes out all frizzy because they've got a problem with the soil down there. It's obviously due with the lime stone. I have my area here. This is very swampy, or we used to be very swampy, and I have an opposite. I have to use lime to correct my problem. People can bring in a leaf of their palm. Maybe it's got a disease or something to the effect that that's not working for them. We could probably tell them what to use to correct it. Okay, so it can be a diagnostic like a doctor, and we've got one in here.
That's Dr. Norm. He'll help you out.
Won't cost you a cent. So.
Bottle of bourbon. Just send that bourbon to... All right. Thanks very much, everybody. And don't forget to, if you want to find out a bit more and you've got palms or you'd like to look into growing them, make sure you roll up on those days. And some good people here will show you around and help you out.
Well, welcome back from that story. There's a pretty good story on palms and cycads. Now, if you want some more information on it, apparently there's a sale going on, so get some more information down there. Now, there's... Good. Give me that. Go on.
Yes!
Balls and all, folks. Balls and all. Okay. Tony, keep that extra, please. Is that making it to the show? Right. I'm talking with Paul Dewar. Now, you're one of the pilots of the helicopters. Now, do you find that it's harder or easier to pilot a chopper than a plane?
A helicopter's a little busier. Yeah, you're working all the controls a lot quicker and a lot more often. So, yeah, it tends to be a little harder, but only because you're busy.
So what made you pick choppers over planes?
Helicopters just... It's amazing what they can do. You're always learning. I've been flying them for 20 years and I'm still learning. Planes, there's only a certain amount you can do, but helicopters, there's a lot more. So I get the thrill out of that.
Now, you're the club president of the Perth Remote Control Helicopter Club. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, the Perth Heli Club, we have about 35 members here. We're very lucky to fly at opposite the Stirling Council offices in Perth, at Cedric Street in Stirling. We've got about 35 members, and we've got a lot of novices who've learned to fly only in the last couple of years. And the helicopter just grows from strength to strength. We get involved in displays like today and show what we can do, and hopefully encourage people into the sport.
Now, if someone wanted to come down, is there a phone number they could call to get in contact with you?
The easiest way is call me on my mobile 0412 254 210, and I can help out at all. And we have a website as well. Just do a search on Perth RC Helicopter Club.
Now, is there much of a price difference between choppers and planes?
The choppers are a little bit more expensive than the planes. It tends to be a bit cheaper to get into planes, but you spend about $1,500, $1,600, you can start flying helicopters. Helicopters are good. You don't need a great amount of space to fly in, so you only need a small area to fly.
You don't need a runway either?
That's exactly right, yeah, so it's a lot easier and it tends to be a lot quicker.
Well, if anyone wants to have a go, just give them a call and I'm sure they'll sort you out and put you in the right direction. Now I'm talking with Paul Knight, who's a pilot of Tigris. Now, what can you tell us about this particular plane?
This particular plane is what they call a pattern ship, which is a competition aerobatic plane. I actually scratch-built the plane, so it's not from plans, it's my own design. It's powered by a 120 OS roots blower supercharged motor running on methanol and nitro with a 20% nitro. It's got plenty of power.
So what inspired the paint job?
I can't be honest about that. It's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd had a couple, and I woke up in the morning, and that's what was in the shed.
Man, this looks good. Yeah. So apparently you've got a number there of the Wanneroo Club.
We have. Our secretary is Bruce Woods, and if anyone's interested in contacting the club, the phone number is 9296 7639.
Now, if someone saw your plane, like what they saw, is there anything you'd like to say to people?
No, I suppose there's 100 aspects of the hobby, whether it be electric, pattern ship, scale. Is really you learn how to fly, and then whatever takes your cake, and you go in your own way.
Well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see where you end up.
Well, we've given these guys one hell of a plug, that's for sure, and I don't know what happened in that last segment with Action Man. He attracts all the best looking guys, which is a bit of a worry. Yeah, this is Mullaloo Surf Life Saving Club, and don't forget, get involved with Surf Life Saving this year if you have to. Don't forget too, we'd like you to help out the fellas at the Kingsley Football Club, and our hearts go out to them and to anybody who's been affected by this tragedy. I know we're all affected, but certainly not like those poor guys. And girls too, their wives and girlfriends as well. Well, everyone, thanks very much for watching the show. I think our next show we're going to be coming from Geraldton. We're going to be showing you a bit about what's happening up there. And don't forget, if you would like to get your story or event on Balls and All, go to our webpage, email us. There's a few things happening coming up very shortly in the next few weeks. And as we always say, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Balls and All would like to thank the following.